Hello ladies, hello gents. Thank you all for being here today. My name is Mira Skender and I do not take your presence here for granted. So today I brought me a note because I do not want to forget any points. Because what we're going to be talking about here today, it's mostly about women, and this is going to save a whole lot of marriages. Today we are going to be talking about the mistakes that women make in their marriages. So we'll dive right in. The number one mistake that women make in their marriages is not paying attention to their husbands, especially when they've had a kid. So, when you get married, right? After the wedding, you start praying to have a kid. Some people don't want to have boys before girls, they want their first child to be a girl. Other people want their first child to be a boy, but whatever comes, you're happy because you know that you've been able to have a child in your marriage. Most people want children, and when they have a child in their home, it is a blessing. This is a blessing that they celebrate for years and years and years, for their entire life. So when this baby comes, most women, this is an exception of the women that have postpartum depression, because some people get postpartum depression after they've had their baby. They are exempted from this mistake. But then a woman who doesn't have any illness or something that is stopping her from, paying attention to the husband after having a baby, it's a huge mistake. Because, for example, look back to when you had your child, or maybe when a family member that you went to visit had a child. Who do you go to first? When people are going to visit those homes, the first person they are asking is, where is the baby? And the next they ask, where is the mother of the baby? Most often, they don't ask about the dad. Most men will not talk about this because they don't want to come off like, okay, they are being paid because people are paying more attention to the baby and they're paying more attention to the woman. And also, when they leave, the woman does not find time to pay attention to the husband. The man will not complain to the woman because he doesn't want to come off petty. He doesn't want to come off like, oh, the woman is going to go ahead and say, I've had this baby for you, and all you can do is just ask me to do this, this, and this. But you have to create that time to pay attention to your husband. Because most women, when they have kids, and it is something that is like automatic. When they have kids, what they do is they think only about that child. Like their whole life is surrounded by the child, the child, the child, the child, the child. But then they don't know that before the child came, they had a husband. Before the child came, you were a wife and you were a lover before you became a mom. So you cannot forgo all your responsibilities and your duties as a wife because you've had a baby. I understand it is very stressful. I have to read. It is very stressful when you have a child and you have to take care of that child. You have to take care of the child's needs. Then you start thinking about taking care of your husband too. But it is something that the men, they desire, they still want you. Not necessarily sexually, but they still want to know that you're there. They still want to know that you have some time for them. They still want to know that you can cuddle with them. They still want to know that you can, have conversations that are not surrounded around the child. Something that is one-on-one, something that is you guys have been doing before the child came into question. So this is something that women really need to pay attention to. They really need to work on so that they don't neglect their husbands just because they have a child. Okay, so we are going to go to the second point. The second point is something that most women make in their marriages. They fake pleasure. Okay. Pleasure is not something that you want to fake in your marriage, especially when you're a married woman. If you're single and you have a boyfriend or something that you're sexually involved with, that's different. But when you are married, do not fake pleasure. Because most women that tend to fake pleasure in their relationships, in their marriages, they tend to become very bitter. Why? Because you're not satisfied. If your husband is not pleasuring you to your satisfaction, then you become this person who is always angry. You become this person who, anything that somebody says, you even take out the anger on the kids. People will think that it's only men that have this problem. Like, okay, if they don't get some, then they get so angry, they get all bottled up. But women also, they get bottled up, they get angry when they are not being pleasured. And most times it's not because they are not having sexual activities with their husbands. It is because whatever the husband is giving to them, they are not satisfied. But then you cannot go and pin this on the man that he's not pleasuring you, because you are the woman. You know your body. You understand? It is not a man that owns your body. Yes, your man needs to explore you, to try to understand, to learn and know how your body works and which parts of your body are pleasurable, which parts of your body make you want to make love to him, you know. But then it is something that during the course, or even when you guys are sitting and having a conversation, you can talk about it. Because one mistake that women make, this is a huge mistake. Women tend to talk about everything. They will talk and talk and talk and talk, even when they really don't need to be talking. But when it comes to something that is as important as making love to their husbands, they become dumb. They become mute. They don't talk. But then it is not something that you have to shy away from. It is something that you need to have this conversation, because this is your husband. You're not going anywhere. So you have to make sure that you are having all the pleasure that you can have. You have to make sure that you tell him how to touch you. You tell him where to go. If he's going left and you want to go right, make him know that you want to go right. If he's going right and you want to go left, tell him. And man, please, when your wife is telling you these things, listen, because it is very important. If she's telling you that this is the point where I want to be touched, that is where you have to touch her. Because if you don't, then the next time she won't tell you, because she'll feel like, okay, even though I've like really tied myself, even though I've summoned up the courage to be expressive, even though I've tried to tell him that this is what I want, but then he's not really paying attention because he's just going ahead and doing the things that he wants to do. You know, women, you need to be expressive. If you're not being expressive to your husband, who do you want to be expressive with? This is a man that you sleep with. This is a man that you wake up with. This is a man that you go to bed with. Like, you're spending your whole day with him. Now we are even in quarantine and most people are at home, you know, so you're with your husband 24/7. So if you cannot communicate your feelings to him, who then do you want to communicate your feelings to? You understand? So this is something that you need to do, because trust me, when you start communicating those needs and necessities to your husband, and he takes into consideration what you're saying, your marriage is going to be mind-blowing, because you will be glowing without even knowing what is making you glow. You'll be happy without even knowing what is making you happy, because you are satisfied sexually. God did not create sex only for procreation. You have to understand that. It was meant to be pleasurable. It was not meant to be an endurance. It's not something that you just want to get in there and just be peep, 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 and you're done. It is something that is meant to be pleasurable. So ladies, please do not make these mistakes in your marriage. Tell your husband how you want to be pleasured. That way, he pleasures you to the max. The third point that women make is not listening. Women, we can talk. We know how to talk, even when we are not supposed to be talking. We talk and talk and talk. But then, do not make the mistake of not listening to your husband. There are some times when your husband is talking to you and you're mad. You need to try to find a way to work around that, because when two of you are talking at the same time and nobody is listening, then no communication is being passed at that time. Because he's talking, you're talking. He's talking, you're talking. So nobody's really listening to the other person. And also try to listen to what your husband is saying, especially when it concerns your appearance. Because women, we are very emotional. We are not looking at a man, his physical aspect. Yeah, sometimes we want the six packs. We want the good curd. We want all that and the fly. But then it is not something that women really go for in the first place, you know. So what men, the way men are, they are visual. They are very, very visual beings. So if your husband is telling you, I am telling you this one out of experience, so listen to me, women. If your husband tells you that there is an attitude that he doesn't like, make the effort, because the effort counts. It is very difficult for you to change a habit that you've grown up with. But if it is something that your husband has noticed and he's telling you that, okay, this is not something that I like, make the effort to change. Make the effort to pay attention to what he's saying and try to apply some things that are going to make you change. Because if he sees that you're making that effort, then he appreciates it. It is not only about excuse me guys, it is not like you're just going to go ahead and cut it, but then you're making an effort day by day to change it. And if he says something about your appearance, ladies, work on it. If it is an outfit that he doesn't like, dump it. Just dump it. So I have this dress, right? It is very, very comfortable. Like, it has this, the color is like kind of blue and white, you know. So this dress is something that my husband, he doesn't want to see me in that dress at all. So the first time he said, babe, I don't like that dress, stop wearing that dress, I was like, man, this dress is too comfortable now. How can you ask me to wear it? Each time I wear this dress, I feel comfortable in it because I can do my house chores in that dress. I can do everything in that dress. I can even go to bed with it because it is that comfy, guys. It is really, really comfortable. But then he said it the second time, that when I wore it again another day, he said, I thought I told you that I don't like this dress and you're still wearing the dress. But he was saying it very passively. And pay attention when your husband says something passively, because at that point in time, he's not trying to create a problem, but it is something that he does not like. That is why he's telling you, even though he's not going to come sit you down and tell you that this is what I don't like. But then do not make the mistake of not paying attention just because he's saying it passively, you know. So he just said it in passing. He was like, I don't like that dress. I told you I don't like that dress, and you still want that dress. Guys, the third time I tried to wear that dress was not, I was not able to take that dress. You know what I did? I just put it in the trash. Because I know if I do not put it in the trash, that little thing that is in my head, in most women's head, that they are evil twin, is going to make me wear that dress again. And I don't want him to say it the third time, because saying it the third time is like I'm pushing him to do something that he doesn't want to do. I'm pushing him to bring a fight, you know. So what I did was I just put it in the trash, because I know if it is in the trash, it's going to be gone. I will not be able to wear it again. But that is something that I like to wear. But then it is not something that he finds attractive. He doesn't see me attractive in it. So what I had to do was dump it. So these are the 3 top mistakes that women make in their marriages that we really, really need to change. We really, really need to pay attention to it. So ladies, thank you so much for watching today's video. Please like, share, and do not forget to subscribe. When you subscribe, please hit the notification bell. That way you can know when I upload new videos. Thank you and have a blessed week.